Halloween is the time of year you expect to get scared out of your wits. But everyone knows the best kind of scare is the one you don't see coming. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Gamers in Need Halloween Special. Today is special because we are not going to be doing just one game. Today, we are going to look into the surprise scary moments in video games. At least the ones that scared me. I was going to make this a top 10 list, but it wouldn't be an episode of Gamers in Need if I didn't help you guys with something game-related, and there isn't enough time to help you guys with 10 different games. That means we are only going to cover a few games today, but these are the ones that stand out in my mind that have some surprising scary moments in them. Keep in mind that these are scary moments that I personally thought were scary at the time when I was first playing these games, and for some of them I was as young as 4 years old. Also, this should be obvious, but just in case it's not, there will be spoilers, and since you won't know what games will be appearing on this episode, I'll put an annotation at the top of the screen every time I start talking about the games, which will skip you right to the next game. With that in mind, let's take a look at the the first scary moment from Super Mario World.
Super Mario World. This was one of the first games I played as a child. I won't go into too much detail as I already did a Gamers in Need Quickie episode on this game, so if you wish to see that, you could click the link right on your screen.
Now what could possibly be scary in a fun, happy game like Super Mario World?
Could it be the ghost house with all the booze and somewhat chilling music? No. Maybe the castles with all its death traps and, in some cases, rage-inducing mechanics? No.
If you were tired of guessing, then I'll show you. Be warned, though. It's really scary. Is it done? Did he appear? Okay, good.
That's right, that fateful battle against the one and only Bowser scared me when I first played it. Granted, I was 3 or 4 years old, but even when I reached 10, seeing this part while sitting in the dark gave me shivers. It's not the initial appearance, nor the clown copter, that scares me. It's the build-up that creeps me out. The lightning, the silence except for the singular tone that gradually gets quicker and quicker, and let's not forget that we just came out of a dark room. Do I need to say more?
There are some days that this gets me more than others, but it did stick out in my mind, so I figured it would be a good start to this video. Now, I'm sure you already know, but let's talk about how to get to Bowser as quick as possible, and of course, how to beat him.
Now, in order to get to Bowser's Castle quickly, you need to go through the Star Road, and the earliest path to the Star Road is through some hidden secrets in Donut Plains, which I already explained in my Gamers in Need Quickie episode on Super Mario World. Go have a look if you want to know how to reach the Star Road, as I'm going to start my explanation, this time with Star World 1, the Boo Menace. Okay, so this level isn't actually called the Boo Menace, nor does it have anything to do with boos. Once you start, you are immediately given a mushroom, which you will need if you don't have a power-up already, to break the blocks below. Break the first set of blocks anywhere, but make sure you are hugging the right wall to break the second set of blocks to find the key and keyhole.
That's the thing with the Star Road. You will need to find the key and keyhole in every level to proceed. Ending the levels here normally would only send you backwards.
Next is Star World 2, the Drybone Wars, which also has nothing to do with dry bones. Or wars. There's a lot of water, though. The trick to this level is to go through until you reach the pipe at the end. Make sure you pick up the blue Yoshi at the start as you go. Once at the end, completely ignore the pipe and go through the small path under it. At the end will be the key and keyhole. Next, in Star World 3, Revenge of the Lakitu actually has a Lakitu in it. In fact, it's the only enemy in this level apart from the Spinies he throws. Now, I know the exit gate is right there, as this is the shortest level of the game, but what you need to do is hop off Yoshi, if you have him, grab one of the blocks that you're standing on, and throw it up at Lakitu to knock him out of his cloud. Jump in the cloud and ride it up through the small opening, and head left to hit the block to get the key. The keyhole is to the right, just be careful not to fall down. In Star World 4, A New Hole, there is a lot of holes. In fact, there are giant holes that you could fall down and kill yourself. Just play through the level until you get here. At this point, the easiest way to do things would be to use Blue Yoshi, or any other Yoshi except Red Yoshi, with a Blue Koopa to fly down below these Koopa to this platform here and spit out the shell in Yoshi's mouth to open the block revealing the key. Like I said, avoid using Red Yoshi or red shells as you will just spit out fireballs instead. If you must, head back to the Star World 2 to grab a Blue Yoshi. Once you complete this level, the Star Road to Bowser's Castle will be available to you. Bowser's Castle is comprised of several different rooms. You will have to go through 2 of them to reach Bowser. Which rooms you find easier is totally up to you, but I recommend going through room number 3 as it contains a 1-up and a cape feather, and then room number 8 as it contains nothing but a bunch of charging chucks, which can be easily defeated with a spin of your cape. Once you've gone through the first 2 rooms, you will be in a dark room with the only light being up above only when you hit the red question mark block. This room isn't too difficult since half the enemies can be beaten with a spin of your cape. Once at the end, you will face Bowser himself. First stage is easy. Just either stand around or run around waiting for him to stop and throw Mecha Koopas. Then jump on the Mecha Koopa and throw them back up at Bowser, making sure not to hit his clown copter as it won't do anything. Once you hit him twice, Bowser will run off and fire will fall down on top of you. Either stay on one side where the fire is not, or position yourself in between the fire to dodge them. Once the fire disappears, the clown copter will come back and Toadstool will pop out with the most horrific face I've ever seen to give you a mushroom. The second stage of the battle begins. During the second stage, Bowser will drop his balls. I'm not kidding. Simply jump over them with a spin jump to bounce off of them safely. After both balls drop, Bowser will throw out 2 more Mecha Koopas for you to hit him twice more. If you miss with these Mecha Koopas, Bowser will drop 2 more balls before throwing out 2 more Mecha Koopas, so just keep dodging them balls.
After you hit him twice more, the fire will start again and you will get another mushroom from Toadstool. Then the final stage begins.
In this third stage, the clown copter gets pissed off. You would think this would have scared me. This time around, Bowser will stomp around trying to crush you, only stopping to throw out potential ammo. Avoid his constant stomping and throw 2 more Mecha Koopas at him to finally beat him once and for all. At least until he comes back in the next game. Next up is... No, absolutely not. I refuse. I will not even mention its name. Who put that footage there? Wait a minute. I work alone.
Okay, look, Paladin's Quest is too horrible to mention. If you want my advice on it, then the only thing I can tell you is, don't play this game. If you really want to know about it, maybe I'll talk about it at the end, but right now, I don't even want to think about it. Let's jump up a generation and talk about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I also did a full episode on this game, which you can view right here, but I never went into too much detail about the game itself. It was initially released on the Nintendo 64 in Japan and North America November of 1998, and was released in Europe and Australia December of the same year. It was supposed to be developed for the 64DD, but was eventually converted to a 32 megabyte cartridge, which was the biggest capacity cartridge they had at the time. The game sold really well and is still known today as one of the best, receiving high ratings from reviewers. Besides being in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the highest rated game ever reviewed, Ocarina of Time generated enough interest in ocarinas that sales had increased for the instrument itself. So what is so scary about Ocarina of Time? Could it be the bottom of the well or even the Shadow Temple with all its spooky monsters and unsettling music? No. Maybe the Redeads and Gibdos with their high-pitched screams of horror? Nuh-uh. Maybe the Happy Mask Salesman stairs. It stares. Didn't see that one coming, did you? More specifically, these stairs. The ones just before you face off against Ganondorf at the top of his tower.
This is no joke. I'm not trying to mess with you. I was literally scared of these stairs the first time I played this game, and even a little while afterwards.
So why is this? This time, it has nothing to do with the actual game. I first played this game when I was 8 at my father's place, and he wanted to see how well I would do against the final boss. So he brought me to Ganon's tower and handed me the controller. Once I got to these stairs, he told me to stay on the red carpet, and if I didn't, a monster would come out and get me.
You probably figured it out by now. Being 8 years old, I believed what he said, and my imagination got the better of me. I wasn't exactly sure what kind of monster would come out, but I wasn't too keen on finding out. As such, every time I came to this point of the game, I stayed on the carpet as I was too afraid otherwise. Either way, let's talk about Ganondorf himself.
Ganondorf is actually pretty easy if you know what you're doing. In fact, you should know what you're doing, as you already did something exactly like this when you fought Phantom Ganon back in the Forest Temple. The only difference is, as the little annoying fairy stated before the battle, you won't be able to Z-target Ganondorf, as Navi can't get too close to the darkness surrounding him. As such, you have to make sure you are directly lined up in front of him when you hit the energy balls back at him with your sword. Take note that you can only hit the energy balls back with the Master Sword. Yes, I know there is a glitch out there that makes it so you can hit the balls back with a bottle or something, but still, don't go thinking your big Goron sword will help you. On that note, once you hit Ganondorf with the energy ball and you hit him with a light arrow, you can switch to your big Goron sword, if you have it, to attack him. I find it does do a bit more damage, just remember to switch back to the Master Sword once he gets back up. Finally, when he tries to pull a Goku and charges up his own version of a Spirit Bomb, simply fire a light arrow at him and it will cancel his attack and drop him down for you to wail on him again. Once he's finally defeated, the castle will begin to collapse and you'll need to make your way down to the bottom. Once you reach the bottom, Ganondorf will reveal the fact that he is still alive and will transform into the mighty beast Ganon. Immediately he will knock out the Master Sword out of your hands, and you will now need to fight with your other weapons. There are 3 ways to go about fighting Ganon. First, you could roll under him and hit his tail with either the big Goron sword or the Megaton hammer if you don't have the sword. Second, you could fire a light arrow at his face to stun him, then circle around and hit his tail with the 2 previously mentioned weapons. Third, equip the hover boots and use Neru's Love, then let Ganon hit you to slide around like you're fighting on an ice rink. Okay, that last one, it does nothing when it comes to defeating Ganon. But it's a lot of fun, especially since every time you get hit either by Ganon or the Fire Ring, Zelda freaks out even though you are perfectly safe, since Neru's Love prevents you from taking any damage at all. After a while of hitting Ganon's tail, he will weaken and fall to his knees. The Fire Ring will drop, and Zelda will encourage you to grab the Master Sword. If you don't, you'll have to go another complete round with Ganon until you get another chance of getting the Master Sword. Once you obtain the Master Sword, head back towards Ganon and fight him the same way you were before. This time, however, you must hit his tail with the Master Sword, or you will be in an endless battle. Once he falls, Zelda will hold him down with magic and tell you to finish him off. Naturally, you would go for the tail again, as it's what you were accustomed to, but this time, nothing happens. Instead, you must swing your sword at his head to activate the cutscene that finishes off Ganon once and for all. At least until he comes back in the next game.
Now we go to... Not yet! Do that again, I won't talk about this abomination at all. Right now, let's talk about Rayman II: The Great Escape.
Rayman 2. This game has been released multiple times on multiple platforms with multiple names. Today I will be focusing on the PlayStation port of this game, as it's the one I have. It was released September 15th, 2000 in North America, and then again December 18th, 2008 on the PlayStation Network.
Rayman 2 was originally going to be a 2D game just like its predecessor Rayman, but that idea was scrapped to make it into a 3D game instead. If you managed to collect 90% of the 800 lums in the game, you would have unlocked Rayman 2 2D Prototype, which was a nice bonus, but it was only available for the PlayStation version.
So those that know this game are probably thinking I'm going to be talking about the Cave of Bad Dreams.
You're right. What else would I be talking about?
I know this is a list about the surprising scary moments in video games, and a place that looks like this probably would make you suspect that you're going to get scared, yet I bet when you first played you never expected this. If the level with its creepy and unsettling music wasn't enough to get your hair raised, then this boss fight sure would. The first part of this boss fight has you sliding down a slope with these massive jaws drawing close, ready to munch you up if you get too close. It was enough to make me shiver when I finally got through it. Now let's talk about the second stage of the boss. As soon as you start, Lee the fairy will inform you that you must shoot the skulls to stop them in midair, allowing you to jump on them to get across. First, however, you have to dodge his flame attacks. I found holding R2 to lock onto the boss itself to be the best way to dodge the flames. Once he conjures up the skulls, shoot at them once they are close enough, and jump from skull to skull until you reach the platform the boss is standing on.
What? That's it. This whole battle is nothing but one big platforming section. You shoot the skulls, jump from platform to platform, you swing on the purple lums. It's nothing you haven't done already at this point in the game. Except for shooting the skulls. That's new. Just be careful not to let them collide or both skulls involved will drop. And there we have it. That is all the games I wanted to talk about in this video. Damn it! Fine! Let's talk about Paladin's Quest.
Paladin's Quest. Released November 1992 in Japan and October 1993 in North America, it has received some mixed reviews. Some people, like myself, hate it for the way it looks and plays. Others like it for the fact that it tried something new while still keeping some of the RPG elements that we know and love. Why do I hate it? Well, for starters, just look at it. It looks like someone drew the basic outline for everything and then gave it to their 2-year-old to splat paint everywhere. To top it all off, one of the main focuses is on magic, but there is no such thing as MP in this game. Instead, when you cast magic, you take a bit of your HP. Because of this, there is no normal healing spells in this game. In fact, there isn't even healing items. You want to heal, you have to fill a single bottle with medicine, which will only carry enough to heal you 9 times. Making matters worse, you can only find these bottles, you can't buy them. And you can only fill them with either medicine to heal HP, or antidote and the like to get rid of status effects.
In all honesty, I had a bit of fun playing this game when I was recording it for this video, but I don't think I'll ever finish it. So now you were wondering what scared me in this game, besides the, art. That would have to be the dragon thing. Let me explain.
At the start of the game, you were dared to enter a tower. This little dude, who I have no idea what he's supposed to be, goes with you. As you climb up the tower, you will encounter the first enemies of the game. The first thing you will notice is in battle you can only use what is currently equipped on your character.
This is the one and only thing that I like about the game. You have to decide whether or not you go for the piece of armor that has an ability attached to it, or you go for the armor that gives you the most defense.
Your best bet would be to defeat these enemies with your little dude's magic, as he won't be sticking around for long, so you can waste his HP. If his HP does get too low, just use the bottle equipped to either character to heal him. As you progress through the tower, you will find a machine. Say yes when prompted, and the whole tower will activate, causing your little dude to run away in fear, and for you to battle this horrific creature, the Durgan. You can't win this battle, as you only do 1 damage to it, no matter what you use. But after a while, the Durgan will open its eyes and...
Things were so much easier when I was 8.
Happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you're a kid or you're an adult and you have kids, I hope you get lots of candy. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go think of some tactics for a Final Fantasy. So I'll see you guys on the next level.